Welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you are a subscriber. Thank you for joining me. Today we will be replacing spark plugs and coils on a Scion XB. There it is, the obnoxious green, which honestly looks pretty darn good. I like the way it looks. First thing we want to do is remove this cover, which is held by 10mm bolts, screws. Not sure, but we're going to break them loose and then do them by hand. So it looks like these are just nuts. And look at that, Scion's kind enough to provide a tray in the engine bay. And here are our ignition coils, and underneath we will find spark plugs, and these are also 10mm. Break them loose. So before I pull them out completely, we'll want to disconnect them. Just like so. We'll do that for every single one. With the electrical connectors out, the screws out, could pull these guys out like so. Place them right here for now. We'll do one by one. They come out rather easy. Next, in order to remove the spark plugs, you will need a 5/8 socket. Drop it in there, get an extender. Gently turn and really hope that you pull out the whole spark plug. It has never happened to me, but I have heard of nightmares. And if that happens, good luck. I'm gonna have to pay a lot of money to get this thing opened up and get that busted spark plug out. And the last few times I've done spark plugs, I needed a little magnet, something like this, to get them out. So we're done with this one, and we're gonna work on the other 3 cylinders. Now we can lower the new spark plugs one by one, nice and gentle. And then what you want to do is freely by hand start to screw them in and make sure you don't mess up the thread, because if you use any power tools or even a wrench, you might thread it incorrectly and you will have a huge problem on your hands. So that one was perfect. If you have any sign of misthreading, just stop and try again. And when tightening, you want to make sure that you do it carefully. And with 2 hands, do it at the correct angle, so when you're tightening it, you're not moving the spark plug left or right. There we go. Lastly, putting in the ignition coils. We'll keep the wiring harness disconnected right now. And these should go on super easy. Just give them a gentle push on the way down, and they should be done. Next, we're going to put the bolts back in. And again, just tighten them by hand as much as you can, and then finish off with the socket. Lastly, we could do the wiring. We'll clip in. Really easy. Once you hear that click, we're all done. Now let's make sure it starts. I'll have to clear that check engine code. Make sure it's not rolling. Let's go take a listen. There we go. Sounds pretty good, sounds pretty healthy. Put the cover on. Don't forget about these two nuts, and you guys are all done.